All right, guys. Question number five. Question number five: natural resources. So, guys, for this question, I suggest you to hold on. Where is it? Use this decision matrix under revision week 12 revision. Make sure to use this. Very, very important. Okay, so you can download this decision matrix. Okay, so first what you need to look at is whether the business or whether the mining company has current rights, whether rights of tenure are current, whether they have expired license. If they have expired license, or if their license is about to expire within a month or so, then no, they need to expense their E&E cost, or exploration and evaluation costs. Okay, so if they have current rights, which means then you need to test whether or not these E&E costs, or exploration and evaluation costs, can be recouped. Now, what does that mean? Say, for example, if they need at least, say, 200,000 tons of gold to be extracted in order to cover or recoup their costs. If the mine has, say, 500,000 tons of gold, which means their E&E costs can be recouped because the expected reserves exceed the commercial viability benchmark. Yep, that's fine. Now, say for example, if the exploration is at its preliminary stage or at its early stage, then they haven't yet determined the estimated reserves, so they can still capitalize their E&E costs. Okay, let's start this question. So you're given 3 sites: Eragul, acquisition cost 9.2 million, exploration cost 13.4, evaluation cost 4.5 million. Jundaru 4.2 million, acquisition, exploration 9.5, evaluation none. Balgo 9.1, 16.3, 6.9. Okay, let's start with the Eragul site. Okay, the geologists estimate that 160,000 tons of iron ore are located at the site, which exceeds the company's minimum benchmark of 100,000 tons. Okay, so can we capitalize these costs? Let's see. All right, guys, since there is no evidence to suggest that there are any impediments or restrictions on future mining, their rights of tenure are current. Okay, so that meets part A, which means the business has current rights. Okay, good. Number 2, whether they can recoup their cost. Okay, let's see. Now, how many tons of iron ore they must have in order to recoup their cost? Only 100,000 tons. Based on the estimations, this mine has 160,000 tons, which means they can easily recoup their E&E cost. Okay. I think I need to change this to, yeah, it says 160,000, benchmark is 100. All right, guys, let me change it to, the answer should be minimum commercial viability benchmark is 100,000, and the mine is estimated to have a reserve of 160,000 tons, which is an error. Let me fix that up. It's already there now. All right, Jundaru. Let's look at Jundaru. Okay, guys, so Jundaru area. Now, Jundaru has been identified by conservation groups as the only Australian mainland habitat for rare and endangered species, mainly Tasmanian devils, and Commonwealth legislation has been enacted regarding rare and endangered animals, which imposes an unconditional ban. All right, guys, so the Commonwealth government, Commonwealth legislation can impose bans on mining due to heritage listings, or due to in order to protect endangered animals, or if they've discovered any sites of archaeological significance, then the government will impose bans on mining. So in this site, which is Jundaru, the government has imposed bans on mining, which means the business has no current rights. Business does not have current rights of tenure. Okay, so it does not have current rights due to legal restrictions. Yeah, it says rights of tenure will be negated by the Commonwealth legislation. Okay, right. Which means due to Commonwealth legislation, they will not be able to recoup their acquisition and exploration costs, which means these two costs will be expensed. Yeah, will need to be expensed. So they will expense these two. All right, Belgo. Let's look at Belgo. All right, now guys, Belgo is, what is it? Okay, exploration at the Belgo is still preliminary, and companies geologists expect to have access to core drilling data in early 2020. All right, we're still on 30th of June 2019, which means they haven't yet estimated how many tons of iron ore reserves are there in the mine, which means they cannot yet determine an estimation. So, which means they do have current rights, which there is no evidence to suggest that there are any impediments to the current rights. Since the exploration is at its preliminary stage, the exploration and evaluation costs have not reached a stage that permits a reasonable assessment, which means they cannot reasonably determine their E&E costs. Okay, so they can expect to continue to early 2020, not 19. This is 2020, early 2020. Okay, so which means they can capitalize their exploration and evaluation costs for the year ended 30th of June 2019. Okay, all right. So guys, let's move on to part B. Now, for part B, you're given a number of exploration and evaluation activities. All you need to do is to classify whether these costs can be capitalized or must be expensed. So the trick here is, as long as they're part of exploration and evaluation, you must capitalize. Okay, for the first one, office supplies used specifically in the administration of E&E. All right, should we capitalize or expense? So since they're part of E&E, exploration and evaluation, you must capitalize. You write the amount here. There you go. Done. Secretarial and share registry expenses. Now, since these are not part of E&E, you must expense. Bank fees and banking activities associated with E&E, which means must be capitalized. Payroll processing for E&E activities must be capitalized as well. Payroll processing for E&E activity operational personnel, 300,000. Must be capitalized since they're part of E&E. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think I already did that. Yeah. So, guys, directors' fees are not part of E&E, which means must be expensed. Audit fees for E&E operations, 330, must be capitalized since they're part of E&E. Salaries and other expenses of general management must be expensed since they're not part of E&E. Liability insurance for E&E activity operations, 200,000, must be capitalized. Rent and utilities for premises used for E&E operations must be capitalized since they're part of E&E. All right. There you go, guys. So that's question number 5. So that's it for our revision questions. Let me know if you didn't understand any of the components, any of the parts. Feel free to send me an email. I can re-upload a video if you need me to. Thanks. All right. Best of luck with the exams.